You know, we're here today because we're very upset about the recent Supreme Court ruling. As you know, the Supreme Court ruled 8-1 in the case Schneider versus Phelps to side with funeral protesters' freedom of speech over the privacy rights of those mourning veterans that gave their lives for our great country. Our disagreement with the Supreme Court is best reflected in Justice Alito's dissent, wherein he opined, in order to have a society in which public issues can be openly and vigorously debated, it is not necessary to allow the brutalization of innocent victims. And although I, and obviously these veterans here, fought for and believe in freedom of speech and debate of public issues in an open manner, I believe a family's right of privacy to grieve without disturbance is paramount. I find it insensitive that the court would allow protesters to demonstrate at a funeral of veterans that fought for our great country. Those mourning loved ones must be afforded the respect to do so without disturbance, criticism, or ridicule. Accordingly, I will soon file a local law, along with our legislators here, strengthening Nassau County's present law by requiring a permit to regulate the time, place, and manner of demonstrations, as well as increase the buffer zone to a minimum of 1,000 feet. We believe the strengthening of these laws will be consistent with the opinion and is paramount to ensure a proper, respectful way to mourn those that have given their lives to protect the very freedoms we discuss here today. Until then, I will join with the Patriot Guard Riders, a national group with more than 300,000 volunteers, to form a barrier or shield with an American flag to keep protesters from being seen by grieving families. Our fallen military and their families deserve the respect of a grateful nation, and that's exactly what we're going to do here in Nassau County. Thank you. Questions on our statement here, proposed local law?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, is it possible what you're proposing here is not constitutional, and are you prepared for a challenge?
We believe it's constitutional. I've read the opinion myself. We have our attorneys working on the opinion, and it is our intention to strengthen our law as much as possible, consistent with the dicta in the opinion that provides or indicates that we would be permitted to provide and regulate the time, place, and manner of demonstrations. Presently, Nassau County does not have a permit process in place that is consistent with our wishes here to respect grievance, those grieving and mourning our departed veterans. So we're going to strengthen that by requiring a permit process. And we also have our attorneys working on increasing the present buffer zone. Presently, right now, there's a 300-foot buffer zone, and we would like to increase that to at least a minimum of 1,000 feet, more if possible.
So are you saying it's the buffer zone that makes it constitutional? Could you just expand on that?
Well, the Supreme Court indicated that the protesters have a right to protest, but they also indicated that government has the right to monitor the time, place, and manner of that protest. And that's exactly what Nassau County is going to do.
Mr. Mangano, there are other municipalities around the country who've adopted a similar stance as the one that you're proposing here?
I am not certain. I am not certain. I imagine that other municipalities are beginning to, look at this very Supreme Court decision and reacting. It's only 2 days old, so I'm not certain.
Yeah, pardon me, what exists now? You said that there's...
Right now, we have a present law in place that requires a 300-foot minimum.
For what? For
to protest. Funerals.
Specifically funerals? Was
Yeah.
that...
It's a 2010 law. We could provide you with a copy of it if you wish. We'll provide it at the end.
Mm-hmm. And you said this would go out to 1,000 people or more?
Correct. And as well as have a permit process where we could regulate the time, place, and manner.
And is there Suffolk has a statute which mandates an hour before, an hour and after. Is that,
Ours is an hour before and an hour after.
is that
That's correct. It's
currently
going to
now?
maintain that.
Currently,
Currently.
and you maintain that.
Correct. Okay. Well, thank you for joining our veterans here. Yes,
Can I
sir.
say something, please?
Absolutely.
I want to commend you for coming up with this law. Sal Cataldo,
Come on, Sal, come on.
Commander, Post 349. Some of you people know me, others don't, but we'll find out later on. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you, Sal.
Mr. Becker, where are you? And Mike, you know me. I want to commend the gentlemen up here for this law that they're going to pass. Don't you feel that veterans are entitled, the families of the veterans are entitled to this here? I can't understand 8 Supreme Court judges. They should go look for jobs. That's what they should do. And I mean it sincerely. I mean, the families, when you're going to bury people, do you need these people there? You want to protest? Go protest someplace else. Stay a distance away. I believe it's a great plan he's got. I want to commend you again for that plan, all right? I was discussing that with my men this morning, and we were going to talk to the executive. You must have known.
That's it.
I want to say that this is the greatest thing. What I'm hearing today makes my day. And it makes it quite well to having served in the United States Army. And I believe these other people up here are in favor with me. I can't say enough about it. I'd like to talk for another hour, but then that's another story. Put this in your paper. This is the greatest thing they did, him and the legislators. And I want to commend them again. And if you ever need my help,
Absolutely.
don't hesitate to call.
You've helped, that's why we're here.
Thank you.
Nancy, you want to leave the gold star orders? Nancy, like make a statement and take questions.
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. I feel it's disgusting and disrespectful to allow such form of protest in our country. As a mother who lost her son to war, it's hard, it's difficult, numbness, the feeling of your heart and soul ripped out, not being able to breathe. All the memories, the plans, and the waitings just stood still. My faith in God has helped me and my family. That's what keeps us strong and going. How can God want this? My God is a loving, is a caring, compassionate God. He wouldn't inflict more pain at our worst time of our lives. My son, especially Daniel A. Fuentes, and all our fallen heroes from all wars died for our freedom. And because of that, these protesters have the freedom to express their stupidity. Does that seem fair? No parent, family, friends should go through or experience something horrible, not being able to grieve your sons or daughters the proper way. Thank you for assisting our sons and our heroes, and especially my son, on April 6, 2007 when he was killed. We need to stop this in regards of protesting in military funerals. Thank you.
You know, while I haven't served in the military, when we called on to serve in the military, I am proud as a government official to be here to support their efforts. I want to make that clear, that the men and women here that fought for our freedoms deserve the respect to mourn without disturbance. And that is, they've earned it. They've earned it, and we should provide it. We're going to do all we can here in Nassau County to provide an atmosphere and a place for respectful services, free of ridicule, free of protest, in their sight and in their ear, and they deserve that. So I want to make that clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, veterans, family members, Mr. Mangano, Member Bride, I want to thank you. Today is very important to these families. I first want to send out a prayer, a special prayer, and for the Snyder family. Albert Snyder's been fighting this battle over 5 years for his son Matt, a Marine that was killed. And what that family's had to endure over these past years is unmatchable. Okay, the hate, the spewing, the pickets, the signs, it's terrible. I've been the past 7 years to most of these wage funerals and memorial services. That's how I met these ladies here. The worst day of our lives, we bonded. We still support each other. So we appreciate the support from the civilian community. We as veterans, I'm an Air Force veteran myself, we as veterans know that the few today are taking care of the many. So we appreciate everything that you're going to do from today on to support these families. This is unbelievable that this goes on in this country. They are desecrating the United States flag. They use it as a football in the dirt. They wear it as an ornament. Okay? This is not the country that I was born into, that my son fought for, that my father fought for. So we have to recognize that with freedom of speech, there is a responsibility not to cause additional pain and suffering the worst day of your life. So we appreciate your support. With that, I'd like to present this to the county executive, and hopefully they'll fly this. We are working on the state and national level. Some of you folks know about this. This is called the Honor and Remember flag. Okay, and represents over 1 million men and women that have died since this country was founded. Okay.
And that will be displayed proudly here in our offices here in the county seat. As you can see, it's an emotional day for those parents that lost their son, daughter, spouses that lost their husband or wife. And they're here today, and this is a painful day for them, and we should reflect on that. It really, when you think about it, it is not necessary to disturb their day of mourning at that time. There's certainly other venues and other times and other places where if those believe that they have something to say, they can say it without disturbing the grievance process. That concludes our press conference here today.
Just one more. Are you aware of any members of the Westboro Baptist Church or any other group with a history of protesting at funerals filing any
Well, I've
permits
been
for?
informed that they have been protesters in Massapequa and Great Neck or Glen Cove is, I think it's 2009.
To New York City.
Yeah, New York City. So they have been protests here and about. Yes, sir?
Yeah, later today, the Rules Committee that will be hearing on your incoming chief of Veterans Aid. There's a lot of concern with the veterans community that this has become a politicized process. Can you walk us through the...
You know what, it's one, I won't dignify that with a response other than to say that
This is coming from the veterans community, so
Well-
I'm not sure if you want to dignify me or them, but...
I will tell you this, that we have a United States Marine heading the Veterans Agency, and that's good enough for me. For a country who spent many years here in our administration, we're proud of the Kilbride family. We even have Major Chuck Kilbride is here, United States Marine Corps. Every person in his family is in the military service. These gentlemen's father and grandfather served this country. I will not respond other than to say that the services that we deliver here in Nassau County for our veterans are paramount to me and my administration. I'm very confident we will not only continue those services, but we will deliver more effective services to honor our veterans. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say something. I just got a manifest list for a jump into Iraq from Mo Fletcher. And my son was with his son and served in the same unit when Mo Fletcher was killed. And I think it's only appropriate I thank him publicly. But I would also like to say to Newsday or any other veteran that, today is a day where the county executive wants to come out and do the right thing, to take care of the Gold Star mothers. And I have a son in Afghanistan right now fighting on his 8th trip. I have a son that just came back off his 7th trip. I have 2 other, a son and a daughter and a son-in-law that was born up in Iraq. And I think my family and Michael here and my brother and my dad and my grandfather and Smash My War, I think we did enough. And I think the future of the veterans is secure in Nassau County because you got Mike Kilbride and he cares, and obviously your county executive cares. And I would not even diminish what we're trying to do here today, what the county executive is trying to do here today, to do the right thing and take care of those that have to mourn without ridicule and protest. And I don't think we should go there. I think another time and place you might want to talk, and that's your right, I guess. But
I think,
I just wanted to feel, I just did want to feel a question though, that there does seem to be concern in the veterans community that among your own county advisory board have expressed concerns that they were not consulted about this. And I'm wondering, are you confident that, how are you addressing them? How are you addressing these?
I think the county executive has already addressed it.
I was addressing that.
So again, are there any other questions on why we're here today, the importance of why we're here today? You'd like to make a statement?
My name is Peter Gong. I'm a Master Sergeant of the United States Volunteers of America 11th Regiment. We go to the cemeteries, we do final military honors by the request of families. We go out there, we fire 3 valleys, we fold the flag, and we do a live bugle. We do this because the regulars only send maybe 2 people or pipe the music. So since I retired in November, I did 50 military final honors at various cemeteries, mostly Calverton. And I just want to let everybody know that there are volunteers out there doing this, and with honorable discharge, with the DD-214, we do it for anybody, no matter if you're a private or general. Thank you.
Thank you.